Alright, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here, another discussion video. Yes, I have made it my own little goal here for 2023 to be doing more of these discussion videos just because I don't want everything to just be PvP. I feel like discussion videos have their place, and it's often more enjoyable to talk about stuff in the game, theorize stuff, than to just be running into the same meta team over and over again. And I feel like you guys enjoy these as well. You guys are leaving your comments letting us know that they're doing really well, you really like them, and honestly it's only possible because of my awesome editor Juki over here that makes these videos look as good as they do. So a big thank you and shout out to you. But today's video, we're going to be going ahead and talking about top 5 Zenkais that I'm looking forward to. These are units that either never really had an opportunity to shine in the meta, or they did, sort of fell off, and I feel like their baseline kit could really have a severe impact and drastically change some of the rosters that we see in the game right now. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a fun little discussion point. I know for us at this point in time, sometimes Zenkai is a little bit hit or miss. You know, like Bergamo's Zenkai Awakening was a little bit underwhelming, even though he had a pretty decent kit. But then you go ahead and you take a look at, say, the Super Saiyan Uppercut Goku, and that guy got totally revitalized, and he was actually pretty good for his Zenkai Awakening. So we don't know where they're going to fall, but I just think when the Zenkai comes for these characters, it'd be pretty cool. So let's go ahead and talk about our top 5 Zenkais that I look forward to. Alright, coming in at number 1, Green Goku Black, the transforming Goku Black. This guy had such a solid place in the meta. This was at a time where Zenkai characters are running rampant and they're extremely strong. This Green Goku Black, he was a transforming character, so he had fantastic stats, but he could perform really well even if he only had one copy of the guy. And this is at a time where 600 Z power was the most you could ever really get. There was no 1200 or 1800 Z power for characters, so one copy of this guy performed extremely well, and it's because at the time of his release, his kit was just beyond. His green card is able to give him ki, some additional cards, some additional damage. Every time he drew cards, he was able to do more damage as well. He had a ton of sustain, he was able to heal, a lot of card draw speed as well. This guy was an absolute menace, and he was praised everywhere. Everyone really liked this character. And he fell off, obviously. His damage inflicted numbers aren't as high as the modern meta. Obviously, there's a lot of dangerous purples that are running around, so he doesn't really have his place there. No real ways to go type neutral. But if this character was to get a Zenkai Awakening, I strongly feel that he will have a solid place in the meta, because the same things that made him great when he was at his peak are still pretty good today. Constantly getting all those combos going, being able to sustain himself, all the damage. As long as they gave him some sort of form of cover null, this guy would be a menace. Transforming stats alone will definitely help him out too. So, you know, Green Goku Black, when your Zenkai comes, I'm really looking forward to it. I think a lot of people are going to be very excited to use their old favorite character again. Alright, number 2 is going to be going to the Red Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I feel like this one should have been obvious because of my bias here, but it's mainly because this guy never really had an opportunity to shine. He was crap. His Z ability was crap. It was only good for mono red teams, which obviously at the time, why would anyone run a mono red team? We did take a look at this guy on with the Z tier buffs, and he was able to perform. His main ability has him do some additional damage every time he lands a strike or a blast hit, meaning 10% if his strike card hit, 10% if his blast card hit. Very similar to the Red Gogeta, and we saw how good that guy was when he got his Zenkai Awakening. He was stacking up damage like crazy. He was also one of those units that had card draw speed, which at the time was rather rare, so he had some aspects of him that were pretty good, but because of his Z ability, he just never really had a proper place in the meta. So we've seen how they've revitalized units. I mean, if we use the Blue Pan as an example, her kit was very bare bones. There wasn't much there to it, but they gave her new life. She became a fantastic support, pretty decent damage dealer. I feel like the same could be true for this Red Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We could use some more Red Saiyan buffers as well. We don't have too many, so I'm gonna go and give number 2 to the Red Super Saiyan 3 Goku. No true opportunity to shine, a very bare bones-ish kit, but the potential is definitely there for him to perform pretty well, assuming they get that Zenkai right. I'm gonna go ahead and give number 3 to the Angel Vegeta. This guy was pretty much the perfect partner to the LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku Zenkai Awakening, mainly because this guy served as the perfect support as well as disruptor. I feel like he was the first sort of iteration of units that just put a complete stop to your combos. So he was able to reduce your ki drastically. He was able to heal up units. When it came time to it, he could be a decent damage dealer the longer he was on the field. But his ability to manipulate sub count and keep your entire team sustained is what gave him tremendous value. And right now the meta is actually kind of crazy. Pan and Zamasu are insane disrupt slash support slash defensive units, and I think yellow Angel Vegeta over here would be a good addition to that. He would be a huge plus to all his teams. So Saiyan Vegeta clan, I think it would help tremendously. So he'd be a pretty impactful Zenkai Awakening for the meta. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it to him as number 3. I think we need some more yellow Saiyan Zenkai buffers anyways, so why not? Let's give it to the Angel Vegeta. Number 4, I'm going to go ahead and give to Tamados. I know that she is a bit of a hated character, but she was once the best support in the entire game. Her ability to constantly change the manipulate substitution counts, keep on stacking damage for your entire team, and her card destruction made her very difficult to deal with. The meta has changed drastically since her release. Right now, she wouldn't really fare well at all. She has very low defenses, but I think everything in that her kit provides would be very useful today. And I think with a Zenkai, it would help out a whole number of teams. Rival Universe, God Key, and if they were ambitious enough, they could expand it so that she could also provide a ton of buffs for female warriors as well. I think that every single one of those tags could take advantage of what she brings to the table. You might argue, God Key is well established, God Key is fine. Like I said before, this is just stuff that I'd like to see or stuff that would drastically impact the meta. And although God Key, it has some really good damage dealers, pure just God Key itself, like MUI, Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken, those sorts of things could use the benefit of a strong support. So this would be perfect. Yes, you can put Pan as the leader slot, but if I'm looking exclusively at a tag and what a support unit could provide, Tamados would be pretty critical. She would need some sort of sustained damage cut, but I think everything that she provides would be a huge plus for all of her teams, especially Rival Universe and Female Warriors. Those two tags need some buffs, and I think Tamados would be a great start to that. So number 4, I'm going to go ahead and give to Tamados. And the final one, number 5, I'm going to go ahead and give to the yellow kid Goten that transforms, because he's one of the few characters in the game that provides your allies a nullification to enemy sustained damage cut. He's able to provide minus 20% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to your allies, which is pretty huge. As you may know at this point, everyone has a ton of sustained damage cuts, 60% here, 70% sprinkled there, and a lot of ultimates that we see in the game do so much damage because they're given to units that have minus 100% sustained damage cut effects when it's activated or when the main ability is popped. So Dragon Fist, Rose himself when he pops the main ability, LF Gogeta Blue, their ultimates still hurt pretty hard, mainly because they have minus 100% sustained damage cut effects. Imagine a supportive unit that's able to provide minus 20% to sustained damage cut. That would be pretty drastic. So number 5, I'm just going to go ahead and give to yellow Goten. Now, the remainder of these are just honorable mentions that could help as well, and some fun ones for myself. Number 1 being the obvious Super Saiyan Blue Purple Vegeta, the supportive one with the death buffs. The only reason why I didn't put him in the top 5 is because 1, I would prefer Angel Vegeta, and 2, I don't really know. Mono Purple was ran for a while and he was seen there, so I feel like he still has some quote-unquote relevance now because you still see him as part of Mono Purple. So he's more of an honorable mention. The next one is just a little fun one, but it's the Legends Road Yardrat Goku, the one that has the really cool green card. For some of the newer players, this guy you probably haven't seen used at all, or maybe it's something you haven't seen yourselves, but his green card allows you to evade a whole array of different attacks. Obviously, you cannot dodge things like Rising Rush, but it's fun to dodge strike cards, blast cards, blue cards. It lets you do some cool little quirks, and there are some faults to it as well. But it was just always just fun. It was just this was like at a time when the developers were really playing into, you know, making these characters unique. And this is the one that had instant transmission, that just learned instant transmission, that version of Goku, and fought the Trunks for the first time. So for his green card alone, it would be cool to see him get a Zenkai Awakening. And then the final little fun additional one would be the one-hand Spirit Bomb Goku, the purple one that's very, very old. Part of the reason why is this Goku, if you use 2 or 3 of his green cards, you get a unique blue card animation. And I think he's the only character in the game that does this. So as a fun little homage to the developers that, you know, did a little bit extra for this character, I think it'd be cool for him to get a Zenkai Awakening. I know he's a Purple Saiyan and he has Movie Saga too, but I'm just saying this for fun, just so we could see that really cool blue card once again, because there's the one-handed Spirit Bomb that just normally hits your opponent, but then there's this really cool, unique one where it's just a brand new animation if you use enough green cards, and it looks super cool. I think it's, you know, just a nifty little blue card. It'd be cool just to see that a couple more times, sort of like, oh, I have to earn up to being able to use this cool animation. I got to use a couple, two or three green cards. So it'd be cool to see him as sort of an honorable mention. But let me know in the comment section below what kind of Zenkai Awakenings you're looking forward to, how you feel about them, what you think about the list. The 5 that I listed, I think will have some drastic changes. Green Goku Black, just because his baseline kit is really good, and, you know, pay respect to all of those that really used him when the meta got crazy, because at the end of the day, he was always sort of the Clutch Meister. He was a very powerful unit for quite a while, and he was definitely an ace for a lot of people's team rosters. Vados, for sure. I think that her card disrupt and her substitution count and her ability to heal and buff up the team would be awesome. Like, let's say LF Gogeta Blue, who I will throw in the honorable mention as well, gets a Zenkai Awakening. I mean, Vados and Gogeta Blue ran so well together just because Gogeta Blue heals 10% when he shows up on the field. Vados provides 10% healing for God Key, so 20%. And I know on the LBR tournament scene, that duo was seen quite a bit, so that'd be very cool. And then obviously the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, just for myself, because he never really had an opportunity to shine. His ability was pretty mid, and it would just be cool to see some more Red Saiyan Zenkai Awakenings. The Angel Vegeta, because for Saiyans and Vegeta Clan, that disrupt unit similar to Pan and Zamasu is very much needed, and the ability to play around with substitution counts, go type neutral, heal your team is very much appreciated for everyone. And Goten, just because he's one of those few units that can provide minus 20% to enemy sustained damage cut effects, just because everyone has a overwhelming amount, and it could be very impactful. It would definitely be noticeable, minus 20% to enemy sustained damage cut effects as a buff. That's cool. So let me know what you think. That's going to be all. And until next time, guys, peace.